Hey, Abby, it is Annie, and I'm going to share with you some exercises for you. What I'm going to do first is show you some stuff with a band that you can do at home. You can hook it around, a post, or I'm going to hook it on my bookcase because it's heavy enough. But you make sure that it's stable. And I'm going to show you a series of different exercises for different muscle groups. I'm going to name the muscle groups. I'm going to move through kind of the form of it and things to think about as you do it. And then I'm going to go to a set of weights and kind of share a few other things with you. The key here for your workout is to do back, upper back, really important. And from my philosophy, it's like 3 to 1, like 3 exercises for your back versus only 1 exercise for your chest, because your chest is in a forward position, so it's really tight anyway. So we really want to be opening up this and loosening this up. So you have back, chest, shoulders, biceps, triceps, and then we're going to do some glutes, some quads, and some hamstrings, and then I'll show you a calf exercise as well. So anyways, let's have some fun. Okay, I'm just going to do about 5 or 6 exercises for each, so you can kind of move this forward. All right, here we go. So here's the band. So I have the band hooked on. What we're going to do is work the upper back to start a couple different exercises. I usually like to add a step back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this directly to my side as I step back, and then come forward and pull directly to my side and come forward and pull. And so I'm alternating feet as I do this. I'm keeping nice and tall. You can see my posture's up and nice and tall. Abs are in tight, shoulders are down and back. And I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together and back, and the arms are coming directly by their sides. So when I pull, I'm pulling squeeze and release, squeeze and release, squeeze and release. Second part of that exercise is to do the same thing, except you're going to come up here and stepping back, but the elbows are up a little bit higher. If this bothers your shoulders at all, just drop the elbows down. I think about this as a clock. 6 o'clock. First exercise is 6 o'clock. Second exercise is like 8:30. That helps with the shoulders. If it needs to be 7:30, that's fine too. So same thing. You're stepping back, except you're just coming up a little bit higher. So my elbows are up higher versus down here by my side, okay? So it just hits a different area of the back. So those are 2 different back exercises. Another back exercise, rolling the shoulders back and down. Arms directly by your sides. They're straight, and you're doing little mini pumps. This is for the arms stay nice and straight and just pumping. I think it might look like my elbows are bending because of my shirt, but arms are straight, kind of locked, shoulders down, and squeezing. You're gonna feel that in the tricep and the upper back. Okay, so that gives you a few different exercises for the back. Next, I wanna show you a couple exercises for your core, standing core, okay? One is what we call a 10-2 turn. So your feet are about shoulder width apart. There's some tension on the band. Abs are tight. You're going to pull this right in front of you. Elbows locked in bent. So this would be the position. And then 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So this is a little teeny rotation. Quick, 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 quick. And you'd do about 20 of them, and then you'd switch sides. Okay. Next exercise here. Left foot in front of the right, knee soft. This is called a push out. So now it's pulling me. The band's pulling me, so it's pretty tight. And I'm here, and I'm going to push it straight out in front of me and in. Straight out in front of me and in. When it's out here, you should feel your whole core engage really quickly. Straight out in front. And again, the shoulders are down. So it's straight out and in, straight out and in. There's a tendency to want to kind of do this, but you really want to stay straight. That's what kicks in the core, okay? So we have back, some back exercises. We have 2 core exercises here. And then I want to flip around. So I'm away, 1 foot again in front of the other, head and chest up, and I'm squeezing right in front. So this is a chest press. It's just like I was doing if I was to be doing a push-up, straight out in front, right? Kind of a capital A with the hands. And I know that you've done this at Green Mountain, so very similar, right? You can also do a little bit of a fly. So the arms are a little bit wider and coming in and opening, coming in and opening. So it gives you a couple of exercises for the chest. A couple more things that you can do with the tube. stepping on the tube, right? Oops, lose my head. Stepping on the tube, bicep curls, right? The shorter it is from foot to hand, the more resistance it'll be. So if you need to come a little bit wider, you can have a little bit more resistance. If you need less, maybe 1 foot, okay? So that's a great exercise for the bicep. Tricep, very similar to what we did. Pump straight back, or you can hold on to them, knees soft. So here's an important one. The weights, I think, are a little bit easier with this. This is a kickback though, right? Kickback with a kickback, one joint action, which means only one joint's moving. That's the elbow joint. So the elbow joint out and in. The elbow joint moves, the shoulder joint does not. So with a band, it's kick, kick, kick. If you want, you can stand in a split stance position. Split stance position is more functional, and it also provides a little bit more stabilization for your back. So you're leaning forward just a little bit. So there's a kickback. And then lastly is the infamous little sidewalk for kind of the outer thigh glutes. Make a cross, say the cross of the band, pull up to your waist and step side to side. Foot comes all the way down. And you can see that I'm keeping resistance on the band. So I'm not going out and coming in, right? So I'm kind of holding resistance right and left. And you can do this like, you can do a series of steps one way and a series of steps the other way until you start to feel this in your booty, in your side, the side of the legs a little bit. The key on that one is to keep the toes forward. What happens is there's a tendency for the toes to turn out, and then you're using your quadriceps, and we don't want to use your quads on this one. We want to use more of your glutes. You want to keep the toes squared or even slightly in. Okay, so that's some exercises with the tube. Next, I'm going to do some exercises with a set of weights. Okay, for your back, right? A bent over row. So you have a bench or a chair pulling directly to your side, right? So this comes straight up. Again, 6 o'clock, kind of straight in, not out to the side, but straight up and in, right? Supporting, so you see that if I'm holding the weight with my left arm, my right leg is forward and the right hand is on. So you can notice that my back is nice and straight, just kind of pulling up and in. So that's a great exercise for your back, okay? Other exercises. Now, I have a very short ceiling up here, right? So I'm actually going to sit down. That will be easier. But you can do any of these standing as well, okay? Any of these can be done standing. So, and by sitting at the edge of the chair, kind of giving myself a little bit more support, or core work, actually. So straight up and down, overhead press for the shoulder. So there's that overhead for the shoulder, bicep curl. These are simple, right? Core stays engaged. You're supported and stable. And then you can also do your kickback. For your kickback, the key is to just slightly lean forward a little bit. So you have, just sit side, kind of go to the side there a little bit. So I can do it here, out. And again, the joint action is only the elbow joint. Shoulder joint stays locked in. So we lock the shoulder joint in, squeeze out, and in, squeeze out, and in, okay? So that's for triceps. You got biceps, triceps, shoulders, back. With weights, to do chest, you would do them on the ground or on a bench. So I'm gonna move the chair and lie down on the ground. But before I do, I'm gonna go into our stand-ups. Feet shoulder width apart, weights down by your sides, driving through the heels, standing up and sitting down. Standing up, this is for your quadriceps, right? It's just like a squat. If I were to turn to the side, you would see straight up, straight down, straight up. Really a functional exercise to hit those quads, okay? Think about pushing through your heels, not your toes. That'll engage your glutes and it'll keep pressure off your knees, okay? So when you're standing, push through the heels, drive up through the heels, okay? So we've got a bunch of back exercises, one shoulder exercise. Another shoulder exercise you can do is the front raise, straight to the front and down. Does not go any higher than your shoulder. No higher than the shoulder. If that bothers your shoulder, don't even do it, right? You don't need much for the shoulders, just that overhead press is fine. We got biceps, both with the band and with the weights. We got triceps with both the band and the weights. You can always do wall push-ups up against a wall. So if you're up against a wall, you're down and up. One of the things I talk about with wall push-ups is you can do a set of wall push-ups here, right? Like that would be a normal set of wall push-ups. Your second set of wall push-ups, one arm in front, up and down. Third set. Okay, so few different ways to do some push-ups. That's for chest. And again, a little bit of core. So you can do that up against a wall. Now, I'm gonna come down on the ground because I wanna do some bridging for you. Bridging is great for the hamstrings, help support the knees. So you're down on the ground, knees bent 90 degrees from here, one leg straight up, and you're driving straight up. Straight up, straight up. You can do it with both feet. So I know you've done these before. Squeeze your glutes, use your hamstrings. When you do these, you can push from your heel. You can push from all four corners of your feet, your full feet, and you can also lift your heels and push from your toes. So it gives you lots of different options. One leg option, one leg option. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. And then lastly, without weights, I'm gonna have you do a plank. I am not a big fan of any forward flexion abdominal work at all because it really puts us out of alignment. And it's been proven actually to increase, just not be good for our posture, but also increase like the size of the abdominals. So you're better off with the two exercises, the band, the push-outs, and the rotations, and then a plank. So a plank, forearms, right? And you're lifting. The key to a plank is not to feel it in your back. If you feel it in your back, hinge your hips up just a little bit. That'll take the pressure off the spine. And you don't want to sag. So there's no sagging. So it's lifting and abdominals tight. You can do it on the forearms. You could do it in this position. You can do it in this position. So this would be sagging. So see how my shoulders drop and my belly drops. You pull the abdominals in, you push off of the bench or the floor to engage and hold. Hips up a little bit if it puts pressure on your back. But this is your plank position, okay? So that gives you a whole series of strengthening exercises. Think about doing a couple for your back, maybe the pulls and the bands, and either the bands or push-ups for your chest, overhead press for shoulders. I'll write this all down. Some type of bicep, some type of tricep, and then your abdominal work. Hamstrings, stand-ups. So you got stand-ups and you got the hamstring bridges. If you wanted to do, and this doesn't bother your knees, you can do some lunges. Heel comes back, head, chest up, down, and up. The key to a lunge, front knee over the ankle, and you're nice and tall. You can do it this way. You'll see I'm going nice and slow. I take it slowly. This is a better way for your knees to step back and do a lunge. That's going to hit your glutes. So if you want to do that, that gives you another one. I'm going to write up a couple of different things and I'll send them your way. So you have kind of the idea of all the different exercises. If you want anything for your calves, right? Just a lift. That's it. And you can do some little pulses up. But this will give you a basic strength training program. Back, chest, shoulders, bis, tris, core, abdominals, and then quadriceps, glutes, outer thigh with a little band, some hamstrings. Okay. I'm tired. Have a good day. That's it for here. I'll write some things up.